Hello and good day. Welcome to our video channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be a fast, concise overview, Book of Job, chapter 42. Let's get started now. The final chapter of the Book of Job brings the resolution to the story of Job, a righteous man who endured great suffering and struggled with questions of God's justice and wisdom. In this chapter, Job is restored by God and receives blessings beyond what he had before his trials. Chapter 42 begins with Job's repentance and acceptance of God's sovereignty and righteousness. Job declares, "I know that you can do all things. No purpose of yours can be thwarted. Surely I spoke of things I did not understand, things too wonderful for me to know." Job 42:2-3. Job's confession shows his humility and recognition of his own limitations in understanding God's ways. God then turns his attention to Job's friends who had been insisting that Job's suffering was a result of his sin. God rebukes them for not speaking the truth about him as Job had, and instructs them to make sacrifices and have Job pray for them. God shows mercy to Job's friends even though they had spoken wrongly about him. Next, God restores Job's fortunes and blesses him even more than before his trials. Job receives double the number of livestock he had before, as well as 7 sons and 3 daughters. The names of his daughters are given, and they are described as being the most beautiful in the land. The final verse of the book states that Job lived to see 4 generations of his descendants. The story of Job is a powerful illustration of the human struggle to understand suffering and the ways of God. It teaches us that even in our darkest moments, God is still in control and that we must trust in His sovereignty and goodness. Job's example of humility and repentance shows us the importance of acknowledging our limitations and seeking God's wisdom and understanding. Another lesson we can learn from Job's story is the importance of true friendship. Job's friends had good intentions and initially came to comfort him in his distress, but they ultimately failed to support him in the right way. They became judgmental and accused him of sin without knowing the full extent of his situation. As believers, we are called to love and support one another, to listen to each other's stories without jumping to conclusions, and to speak the truth in love. The Book of Job also reminds us that God can use our suffering to refine us and draw us closer to Him. Job's trials forced him to confront his own misconceptions about God and challenged him to trust in God's goodness even when he didn't understand what was happening. Similarly, our own struggles can lead us to a deeper faith and dependence on God. In conclusion, the Book of Job is a profound and complex work of literature that offers deep insights into the nature of suffering and the character of God. Its lessons are timeless and relevant to believers today, as we face our own struggles and seek to understand God's ways. May we be encouraged by Job's example of humility, repentance, and faith, and may we trust in God's sovereignty and goodness even in the midst of our own trials. Thank you for visiting us today. Please share with us your favorite Bible chapter below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.